I am very stressed in this period. I just am very stressed. Right now, I have a decision to make, or I make a decision. I just finished my college degree, or just graduated last week, and now I have a little bit of a decision, or a journey, or a split way, a crossover, a roundabout to actually make. And it is stressful. I've started this channel to be honest and to always share what do I have in mind, what am I going through, my experience, my journey, whether good or bad. And this was my only outlet to be myself and to actually talk about the things that I usually do, because I just grew up in a culture, or I have a culture, or I am in a culture, or I am the culture, that I don't overshare a lot. So people don't really know where am I going, because a lot of the times I think it grabs the wrong attention to me. So this is more of a safe space that I have created where I can have talk, when I have the ability to talk freely about what I'm going through. I mean, I've talked about my mother's death in the same day she died, after a few hours after she died in my hands. I talked about when she was sick, 5 a.m. I was filming videos, at 4 a.m., at 3 a.m., at 2 a.m., at 7 a.m., about all the times. It was always transparent. And this is no exception. So, finishing my college degree, and now I am a nurse. I am a governmental nurse, which means I have a graduated nursing college, university. It's almost a transition period where I have to make a couple of decisions. Usually, or most people don't really have a decision. You finish that, then you have a recruitment exam and you pass that, and then you work. Now let me explain this a little bit briefly so you can understand it even deeper. How does the examination or the recruitment exam work? Basically, all of us, usually more than one city, or whatever, actually whoever in Morocco that wants to apply, you pass an exam and then the results come out. They say there is 100 spots available in all the region, because it's regional. So let's say all the region, there is 100 spots. So the first 100 take it. And the way it does happen, or it is organized, is that the first person has the ability to choose whatever place he wants, and the second has the ability to choose whatever place he wants but the one before it, and the list goes on. Usually how it works, or how usually the order is the first takes the nearest to the city, and the last takes the furthest away from the city. Obviously, there is a little bit of exceptions of some people actually using their main city, being not this city, being some other cities, or they have family in other cities. So they don't necessarily choose the city or the closest to the city, but they choose the closest to some other cities. So they have another preference. But that's rare. Most people will choose the closest to the city, and as the list goes on, you're going to go further from the city. Cool. That's good. So this is usually what everybody does, and this is what I do as well. So I have this. Also, what I want is I want to go to Germany. Okay? As I said, I'm gonna be transparent, and this channel was me being transparent. So fuck everybody on earth. This is about me. Cool. I want to go to Germany. Now, to go to Germany as a registered nurse or as a nursing graduate here in Morocco, you need a couple of things, not really a lot. You need a B2 level in German, and you need some paperwork. Let's start with the first. Now, to get B2 level in Germany, you actually testify by having a Goethe certificate. It's like the IELTS or TOEFL for English, but this is a Goethe certificate. You can also have a TELC certificate, which is a TELC certificate. There's probably other one, but there is these two that are very known. The Goethe is probably the most worldwide one. So you take a B2 test and you pass it, then you can apply for German or whatever. So you have to learn German. I am learning German. I'm learning German in my house alone. Not really in my house. I go to the library, but I got the point. A lot alone in my house, remote. I just watch YouTube courses and I just learn it, right? With my notebooks, and I spend a lot of hours, hard work and dedication and discipline learning. I'm right now in E2 level. I haven't finished it. I haven't mastered it, but I am in the I am in the process of mastering, or I haven't mastered the E2 level. Let's just say that. Okay. So now what I have to do is get to the B2 level. It's pretty hard. Learning a language is not easy. It's hard. Cool. Now what's the problem with that? Here's the dilemma, which is why I'm even more stressed. Because that might take time. Now I said there's two things. There's paperwork and there is language. Now paperwork, which is the fuck up college I have, with all due respect, but we have a fucked up college in comparison to other colleges, is that we don't have our degrees until very later. We're talking like 6 months from now. Last year it was eight months after graduation. So you graduate in June, they got it in February. This year it is expected that we have graduated right now in June, and we will get it in December. It's bad. Now, when you have the diploma, what you do is you get the equivalence of it in Germany. So you go through a process, you apply for some interviews, they say yes, they invite you to take the interviews. Then with those interviews, you apply for the equivalence there in Germany. So you go through the process and you have some paperwork that you need. Obviously, there is just your diploma that you get the equivalence of, and you have obviously your notes, how much grades, what was your grade and your GPA in college. And there's also your what is it called, like the structure or the program that you have studied with. So you get it from college, from your director. Everybody says it doesn't take really that much time. So 3 papers they really need. Now for me, I don't have any of them because I haven't got my diploma yet. Obviously you have to translate them as well. I haven't gotten my diploma yet. So hypothetically, I get my diploma with my GPA, with all my grades that I have gotten in college. And also I can ask for the program that I have studied with in college. So I can actually apply for the equivalence in Germany. Now, I'm pretty sure I don't need all of them to apply for the equivalence, but it's some of them. It's around this. I'm pretty sure I need my diploma at least. Also, I had to translate them and then just go through the process for applying for the visa and go on. So this is one thing, okay? The B2 level test, also I need to study where the fuck I need. They don't give a fuck how you studied it. They will ask you questions of how you learned German, but it's not really the point. It's about how can you actually talk about whatever you want. But the B2 level, actually, I also have to pass it, which is not in my city. I live in WhiTeeee, which is the eastest of Morocco. Usually it is in the capital or the big cities, like the near capital cities, like Casablanca, Rabat. I'm pretty sure these two have it. Fes as well have one of them, which is the TELC or TELC, as people refer to it. But anyway, you have those. Cool. Now, why am I most stressed about this? It's because my recruitment exam, I have it in about less than a month. So just announced today. It wasn't announced yet, but usually I have it less than a month. That's what I have heard. Maximum a month and a week. So we're talking from 3 weeks to 5 weeks, around that. So 1 month but 1 week, or 1 month and 1 week is around that. So the problem with that is if I want to class higher, I usually have to prepare. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to be fucking objectively honest. There's 2 parts of this exam. There's general and there's specified knowledge. For the general knowledge, I should do fine because I took that module twice. For the specific knowledge and being objectively looking at it, I had 6 semesters in college. 6 semesters in college, right? The first 2 and the last 2 were the best. in terms of classment and ranking in class. The middle two were the worst in terms of ranking in class. Those two were the specialized knowledge we're talking about and were taken in this recruitment test. So just to get and for reference, in the first semester, I got 8th in the class. Second, I got 20th. And 5th, I got 4th. And 6th, I got 5th. So these are the first and the last. Pretty good ranking. So 2 of them were top 5, 1 of them was top 10, and 1 of them was top 20. Now, on the other hand, the third semester and the fourth semester, I was ranking about 30th, 40th. So we're talking like 39, 44. Okay? So look, we're looking at 39th and 44th. So very huge difference from this to that. Cool. So this is objectively looking at it. So objectively, you know, you got the point. I'm not gonna even say it. So that's one thing. So if I really want to prepare for this exam, recruitment exam, obviously I have to go all in. If I really want to rank higher, right? Rank higher so I can get something near my city and I'm good. If I really want to go through that process, it will come at a price, which is giving up my German language learning journey. Is that I cannot go to the library every day or at least 5 days a week or whatever in that time, however, how much I do, and study German. Because in that time, we'll actually have to study for my recruitment exam. Which means the progress that I'm making in German will be low. Obviously, there is no guaranteed in the recruitment exam that I will class higher, if anything. A lot of people who've studied a lot last year, they haven't classed or ranked any higher. And some of them who didn't particularly were the most educated or haven't actually studied the most and ranked higher. So it's almost as a dilemma. Do I go for the recruitment exam or just keep learning German? So there's that. There's also another option that I have, which is not take the recruitment exam. This is a bad decision for a few reasons. The reason behind it is because, who knows, maybe even if I don't prepare and I just go for the recruitment exam, maybe I get my city, which is Bushra. Maybe, who knows, right? So at least I have to pass the exam. Then maybe decide. Then after I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. But there is the chance of me not working at all and just going all in on German journey. Now here's the problem with that. The main problem being money. For me, financially, I am reliant mainly on my oldest brother, right? I am 22 years old, right? I'm 22 years old, and my other brother is 27 years old, 28 years old, right? And he pays for the both of us. And you can only imagine of how you're 22 years old and you're saying to your brother that I don't want to work because I want to study German. I'm not sure if that's the best statement that you want to say to your brother, right? I already feel like a liability. Since I was 14 years old, I felt like a liability. And I always wanted to be the guy who sort of pays for himself at least. So that sucks. Being honest, I do have a little bit of sources that I can pull it out from, right? As like the house money, and some of it is also my money, so hypothetically I can take it. I just don't take that money because I don't want to spend more than what I can. So I usually like to, sort of make money so I can spend money. And with this equivalent of how much I'm making, how much I'm spending, I'm actually even in depth right now. I'm 2,378 in depth dirhams, which is $230, roughly about that. It could be like 220 or 200, something like that. So there's that. Now, this just makes it a lot stressful because if I really want to go to Germany as fast as humanly possible, without taking care, without even give a fuck about the cost, the best way is not working and just going all in on Germany. Obviously, if you have unlimited money, you go to a center, language learning center, and study German. But we're not living in an ideal world. So usually the plan, which I have announced to my siblings, which is go for the recruitment exam and just go through the process, go through the recruitment exam, get recruited and actually work, and actually, in the meanwhile, study Deutsch. And hypothetically, you have to, for B1 and B2, hypothetically, you can go to a language learning center. So you can learn the B1 and B2 there. So you're more prepared for the exam even more, right? So there's that. Now here's the problem with that. That's why I'm telling you, it's stressful a little bit. Because in my recruitment exam, I have no clue what I can actually get and head at. I mean, obviously it's my choice at the end of the day. I choose, right? I can just say, no, I don't want to go. But also, my choices are limited because I don't know where I'm going to rank. So if I rank the first, I'm extremely lucky. I'll choose the nearest one. Usually the first few spots, you can have a little bit of a nearest to your city. We're talking anywhere from, I mean, last year, one spot was in the city, which is not going to happen this year. We can have anywhere from 20, 40 kilometers. 20 is also rare. We're looking at 40 kilometers, 60 kilometers, which is a very good range. You can actually have some good spots in there. And also you probably have some good spots under 90 kilometers as well, maximum 120. Usually the first few spots you can have a better ones. So we're talking about 40 kilometers, 60, say 100 even. You are guaranteed 100% to have a 100 kilometer away spot. You are also guaranteed to have about 60 kilometer away spot usually. And you are half guaranteed, let's say, that you have a good chance to get a 40 kilometer spot, right? You are not guaranteed at all to get anything less than 40 kilometers, talking 20 or in the city. Not guaranteed at all, very less likely, unlikely. So you're like, okay, well, why is that a problem and why is it stressful? Let's say you pass the exam, the recruitment exam, and you rank whatever ranking and you choose a city. And let's say it's more than 120 kilometers away, right? Sometimes even less, but let's just make it simple. Let's say it's 200 kilometers away. If it's 200 kilometers away, usually, let's be honest, it's not going to have a language learning center. I mean, even, let's say in our region, my city is the biggest, which is WhiTeeee, the eastest. We have one or two other cities that are big, but WhiTeeee is the biggest, right? It's you can say the capital of the region. Not really, but I got the point. It is capital, but I'm not sure if there is a term for that. It's the biggest city. And we don't have a lot of language learning centers. We have two good ones. We have a lot. We have like a 5 or 6 or 7, maybe 10. But we have 2 that are good, that have good professors, or maybe 3 professors. We have 3 professors. Let's not talk even about language learning centers. We have 3 professors. Now, why would a good professor go to a small city? It just doesn't make any sense. He wouldn't even make money. Right? You got the point? So if you go to a faraway city, you are just have no chance of learning in a language learning center. Now, hypothetically, I learned the A1 myself. A2, I'm learning it by myself. A1, A2 is the basics of a language. Now, B1, B2 is a different story, because now we're talking advanced. So preferably in at least B1, B2, you at least enter a language learning center, right? And get some sort of formal educational academic guidance, because that is also even more of a preparation for the exam that you want. In this case, in my case, the Goethe B2 level that I want, or I need. I really do need it, which is tricky. It means I'll be swiped away from the chance of me learning in a language learning center, in this case Deutsch. language learning center. Which is just such a fucked up thing. And also if I get it, I don't know if I will say no. It's just that, let's say anything more than 120 kilometers, which is usually it's fucked, and go by, say hi to, so say bye to the B1, B2 level in learning center, language learning center here in WhiTeeee, and I'm not sure if I will say no, because also it's a good opportunity. And here I present you the third point, which is also when you work, you get something called rappel, which is, I'm not sure if there is something in English, rappel, it's reminder. But really it's not a reminder, it's when you work officially with the government, I'm pretty sure there is something like that probably around the world. You were the first 3-4 months, it's unpaid. It's not unpaid. It's not you're working for free. You're working and getting paid, but you don't get paycheck until the 4th or 5th or 6th month. 3rd, 4th, 5th or 6th month, usually about that. You get all the months at once. Do I need that? Yes, I do need that, because that will help me with my procedure, with whatever that is, translation or the fees that I have to pay or tickets or whatever. So the entire process, I need that money because that will help me. Now here's another point that I also think about, is that in that process, in that 3-4 months, also who's gonna pay for me and my food? My older brother. So the thing that I was fearing in the first place, my older brother is also gonna pay for me to eat food. I mean, there is a chance he also, I don't want to use the word abandons me, but let's just say that because that's easier to understand. Let's say it can actually, there's a chance that he abandons me. He says, well, you're working, gotta figure that out. And I use from the house money. And then after the 3, 4, 5, 6 months, I almost pay the debt that I have spent. Not really me, but the house. And pay that. I would say that is less likely from my brother. I've seen my brother from literally my entire life, but I've known him for a very long time that I know he wouldn't do such thing. Even if you think he would, he wouldn't. Right? So when you're thinking about it, you say, well, your brother is still going to pay for you after you work for a few months. So might as well just pay for you anyway, and you learn German that time and you go to Germany even faster. Good point. It's genuinely, it is a good point. That's why I'm telling you, it's stressful. It's not easy. It's not, you wake up and you're like, oh, I want to drink water. I want to eat food. No, it's stressful. And you know what makes it even more stressful, especially for me? Because I have been here before. It was the worst period in my life, the worst decision in my life ever made. About 5 years later, 5 years ago, I just graduated high school. So graduated high school. In that time, I was very uneducated about what happens after high school. I thought that high school was the end. So I got my high school degree, and obviously the house was going fucking crazy, and a lot of fucked up things were happening by some of my family members. But regardless of that, I was very uneducated about what are my possibilities after graduation. I just didn't know. So some people went to med school, engineering college, so med school, engineering college. Some people went to architecture college. Some people even choose some fields like finance, whatever. Some people choose engineering. I just didn't know shit. I'm not gonna be honest. I didn't even know what colleges they are, what fucking specialties, what's gonna happen, what's my life's gonna be like if I choose any of them. I didn't know shit. I didn't even want to study. So that was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. And it ended up, so in that period we finished graduation, and the month after it, everybody was studying. And for me, I was so hyped up that I've graduated, whatever, I was bullshit. I was a pussy in this term. And I was making social media content. And I thought it was so special and so famous. And guess fucking what? Didn't get any fucking exam. In that time, it wasn't recruitment exams, it was applying for university exams. Like you pass an exam, the first few people get to that university. Obviously, the numbers vary from different colleges. As an example, mid school, you get 300. Engineering college, also 300. Some other colleges, maybe less. First year got fucking chosen any of the fucking applying to universities exams. Everybody was studying. I wasn't studying at all. Because it was arrogant, it was lazy piece of shit, and I didn't know shit. I just didn't know nothing. While all of the other people who were educated and had family that is educated and usually had fathers and brothers and siblings who were before them that actually went through the educational system and went to college and just know what college is and how colleges work and what are colleges and what colleges are and what are specialties and what are the differences between colleges. And they just knew what the fuck they wanted to do and just went, and now they're in their third, fourth, fifth year of med school. That's a good decision, I would say, right? So making such a bad decision, and even the year after that, I didn't pass any fucking exam. I didn't even apply. And I just passed one, applied for one, which is nursing college, which is what I did, and graduated last weekend. So, looking back at this nursing graduation college, I just felt it as it's the same thing. And here's the thing. Patrick Bet-David in his book, Choosing Your Enemies Wisely, talks about your patterns get repeated a lot. Period. Whatever mistake you have done in the past, the most likelihood, or it has the highest likelihood of happening again. I said there is 100 billion mistakes, and we're talking about the likelihood of each one of them happening. The likelihood of a mistake that you've already made before happening again is more likely than anything else. Any of the others probably combined. Which means in this case scenario, it's more likely that I'll be piece of shit, arrogant, lazy motherfucker, complacent, not having a fucking clue about what happens after graduation. Everybody else will do better than me. I won't pass any of the fucking exam because I'm underprepared, so not prepared at all because I'm fucking complacent and I think I can go there just because of positive thinking, positivity and dreaming bigger and believing in myself. Didn't fucking happen. I didn't pass any exam and I did believe in myself and it was positive. I think that I'm better than everybody else, which is I'm not. I'm in my fucking class. I mean, I'm probably 40th in all of the college ranking. It doesn't even fucking matter. I think that I'm better than other people, which is I'm not. I mean, I don't even have the fucking money. I don't even have fucking money. I barely fucking survive the month and I barely fucking eat. I mean, I'm 2,387 dirhams in debt, which is $230 in debt. What else? Just be complacent to probably get fucked by my family members. And what else happened? Focus on some bullshit like social media and trying to be big. Being hyped like a fucking pussy, like a dumbass. Like a genuine pussy, like a dumbass. Like a genuine pussy, like a dumbass 3 times. Excited for bullshit. Losing money, not making money, not training. This is the most likelihood in this period. So I understand now why I'm stressed. So my priority right now is obviously to make a decision, which I've already made, and obviously talk to you through it throughout this process, but also to not fuck things up. The highest likelihood that I had ever in my life to fuck up is now. Fuck up my career, all my career that I've worked on for what now? 12, 17 years. I mean, even more if we're adding kindergarten because I was studying there as well. So we're talking what? 17, 19 years of my life? 18, 19 years of my life. I can fuck up all of that just now. You know how stressful that is? Subscribe.